BT, good morning. How are you doing this morning? I thought I would come on for a little bit. My sleep schedule's all jacked up. Went to bed super early last night. Woke up to sirens at like 12:30. And I didn't do anything yesterday that I was supposed to. So went to the store. Just got done baking a cake and some shortcakes. The cake's cooling right now. Bought strawberries. I still got to make some pie crust. Probably go back to bed for a couple hours at some point. And then I'm going to go to the admin building today for 4 hours. I got a strawberry festival coming up on Sunday. Hopefully, it looks like the weather's going to be decent. It's not going to be hot, so that's good. Let me check my weather report here real quick. Get a move on before Tommy comes on. Tommy's more consistent than the sun. You know that? Even the sunrise changes. 7:02, 7:05, 7:23. Nope, not Tommy. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Consecutive 160th. There's just, there's no going over 7 o'clock with this guy. Let me see here. Weather. 88 degrees today, 86 tomorrow, 67, 64 and rain on Friday though. 62 for the farmers market and 63 and cloudy for the strawberry festival. A little windy, but overcast the whole day, so that's good. There he is. I knew I could draw him out of the bush. We already started complaining. First thing we complained about, Bambi, good morning, is Tommy's show. He's more consistent than the sunrise. Even the sun wakes up at different times every day. The sun, 7:07, 7:09 a.m., not Tommy. It's 7. I bet even network television has had to sorry, we have to interrupt this scheduling program. You know what I mean? Gen X, good morning. Good morning. That bastard, how dare he be consistent? Exactly. What are we complaining about today? Buc-ee's. Have you guys heard of this store? Do you guys have Buc-ee's where you're at? If my friend Brian says Buc-ee's one more fucking time, they had a Buc-ee's open up down in Arizona, and he's trying to tell me that there's 75,000 people coming the first day. Get the fuck out of here. How did that's not even physically possible. What the fuck is so important about Buc-ee's? It has 120 gas pumps and they sell brisket. Get the fuck out of here. That many people are excited about a gas station. Now that's the first I've heard more consistent than the sunrise. Have you guys heard of Buc-ee's? I guess people literally camped outside to get into Buc-ee's. And he said they have to reroute the traffic on the highway because it's such a big deal. It's not a grocery store, it's a gas station, but I guess they make their own products that they don't sell online. You have to go to Buc-ee's to get it. And then they have they have their own bakery and they're excuse me, famous for their brisket. And I seen this other dude he just happened to do a Buc-ee's review. His name's Buck. He does slot machines and pull tabs. He's gotten popular lately. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He did a food review for Buc-ee's. I'm like, dude, I would just rather support a local vendor. I know a couple local vendors that sell way better brisket than, I mean, I've never tried their brisket, but it can't be that good. So I don't know. Doesn't look like nobody's heard of Buc-ee's. Let me see if I can find it. I don't even know how to spell it. Buc-ee's. There it is. Buc-ee's chain. I don't have time for this bullshit. Fuck you, Buc-ee's. Okay. What else do we got to complain about? Not really complain about, but the Charlie Kirk investigation, you know, there's two investigations. There's the real investigation, but that's the fake investigation. The FBI Fed slop narrative, 30-06 Tyler Robinson from the Losi Center. We know that didn't happen. Then there's the fake, because we're not really the real investigation, but we are really the real investigations. And Candace, Baron Coleman, all of us that are, you know, they figured it out. They know exactly what, I mean, it got it down to the T. The only thing is, and I'll play the video of it, is it comes down to the question that I've had all along, which is from day one, when I seen the very first video that came out with Charlie Kirk, I seen a hole open up in his white t-shirt in his chest. There was no blood coming out of his neck, nothing like that. It was a hole in his chest. And I remember my buddy who sent me the link, I remember I texted him and I said, well, hopefully he's still alive, because it looks like he had a bulletproof vest on or a chest plate or something. And then the next thing I know, I click on another, he sends me another link and I click on it. And I fully expect to see the same thing. And I was so shocked. I was like, I mean, it like knocked me out of my seat. I seen the blood come out of his neck. I'm like, what the fuck? That's not what I seen on the first video. And I never seen that video again, ever. And even when you go click on the link, because I was so traumatized after that point. I mean, it was months before I even thought about what I seen on that first video. I didn't even register with me that there was something up. Well, that's a very important little detail. And the problem is that, and I've done this. I went back and clicked on that link, the original link that my buddy sent me. And now it doesn't show that anymore. It doesn't show the hole open up in his chest. So they like scrubbed the video with AI. I don't know what the fuck they did. And it sounds crazy to say that, and I've said this multiple times. Patty, Grateful, they know. They've heard me say it multiple times. And that's just like a detail that has just bothered me this whole time. Well, it all comes down to that. You know, at the culmination, all of this investigation, months and months and months of these guys doing their shows and becoming #1 popularity, it comes down to that detail. And let me see when I find the video. And I know this probably, I don't even have my X on here. Hold on. May not interest everybody, but it does me. One second here. I'm finding my bookmarks. Carol Farnsworth. Here we go. Dun, dun. Let me catch up to the chat real quick. If he's alive, I guess JFK is also alive too. Now, I don't think anybody's saying it's alive. I don't think anybody's saying he's alive. I love you, Osada, but you're not applying common sense. You're running with this crazy conspiracy theory. He's dead. He was an asshole. Yeah, nobody's saying he's alive, Bambi. I don't think you're the one that knows what you're talking about, honestly. You don't, if this is what I tell everybody, if you haven't followed this investigation, then you don't really know what you're talking about. I'm the one that you know, I listen to all this stuff. And so if you don't know about like the exploding microphone theory or the AES building or any of that stuff, you know, this might not even be the channel for you. I'm not sure. So we don't do that here. You know, I'm not trying to fight anybody. And if you don't like it, or you're not, you know, this is not your thing, just move along, please. Because for one thing, it's 2:42 in the morning and I'm not in the mood for trying to like argue with people over that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to defend why I pay attention to this stuff, you know, and honestly, the people that don't, I mean, I don't want to offend you, Bambi. for you to say that to me makes me want to attack you, but I'm not going to, if that makes any sense. Okay. But I just let you know that it's a very ignorant statement for you to say that to me. Let's just put it that way.
People who tried to convincingly sell that he got hit in the chest.
I heard a loud bang, which I figured a shot would be a little bit louder, but I just saw it hit him in the chest, and then all of a sudden just tons of blood gushing right out where his heart is, and then he like fell over and slumped down, and everybody got down and was screaming, and then we all ran.
Kirk, and I am joined now by Sarah, who is originally from Draper, a Utah Valley University student. I understand you were inside, and it's been a traumatic thing to witness. Tell me a little bit about what you saw and how you've been feeling.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been a little bit over an hour, over an hour since it's happened, and my heart is still racing, and I'm still shaking a bit. It's definitely scary. Basically, Charlie Kirk came out at about like 12:06, and everybody was super excited to have him there. And the first student stepped up, and they had a conversation about like Mormonism and Christianity. And then after that, they had another student step up to talk about transgenderism and the violence and gun violence that's been surrounding that recently. And that is when Charlie Kirk was shot. It was in the neck, and I watched the blood just spurt out all over his body as he slumped over and fell down. I believed that he was dead on impact, but it sounds like he is in critical condition. So big prayers going out to him, hoping that everything is okay. After the shooting, everybody was kind of shocked, and everybody fell to the ground. Everyone was screaming and really frantic. My mom was with me, and she looked up at me and said, "Run." So me and my friend grabbed hands, and we ran out of the building, out across the street, all the way to Bucked Up, across from Utah Valley.
Because processing something like this, I mean,
Yeah. And so
to take a listen to these people who tried to convincingly sell that he got hit in the chest.
I heard a loud bang, which I figured a shot would be a little bit louder, but I just saw it hit him in the chest, and then all of a sudden just tons of blood gushing right out where his heart is.
Okay. So this is what I'm saying, is that the first video that I seen showed a hole open up in his chest. My buddy must, you know, because I was at my computer. But back then I wasn't doing shows like this every day. I was not, you know, there was no reason to be all in on this because he wasn't shot. There was no assassination. But my buddy's like, "Hey, did you hear Charlie Kirk got shot?" And I said, "No." And I click on a link and it's not just this girl. There's 3 people. There's a guy too, 2 girls and a guy. They all say that he got shot in the chest. So what happened to that video? This is the missing link. Okay. They know it was an exploding microphone that hit Charlie and killed him. But Candace is going with is that they meant for it to be a chest shot, but that the necklace caused the explosion to ricochet and hit him in the neck. So they had to pivot. That's what she said on her show yesterday. In fact, I think I'm going to play a little bit of that. So I can just calm down for a minute here. You know, before, why I find this, I'll just say that, you know, I can understand why people like Giacomo or, you know, other people, why certain people get in, See No Evil and all these people get into all that fucking drama. Because some people come on here and say some ignorant shit. Polak, good morning. Good to see you, sir. It is a cover up. But goddamn, man. Certain people, man, I'm sorry. You're just going to have to be self-aware. Clogging up the chat, just saying some fucking ignorant shit. Fuck. Give it a rest. Anyway, let me see here. I'm going to try to find this part. There we go. That's the girl. Yeah, here we go. Now let's listen to this. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, guys. If some people had any sense, they'd spend it. I agree. Sorry, I thought I was playing this video this whole time because it's on YouTube. My apologies. Now we have to play it all over again. 1 second here.
I want you guys to take a listen to these people who tried to convincingly sell that he got hit in the chest.
I heard a loud bang, which I figured a shot would be a little bit louder, but I just saw it hit him in the chest, and then all of a sudden just tons of blood gushing right out where his heart is, and then he like fell over and slumped down, and everybody got down and was screaming, and then we all ran.
It was a direct shot to the heart. It looked like right where his heart is, it started going red. He fell back and went to his side. Then I looked down at the crowd, and it looked like the crowd, they all went to their knees really fast.
When I heard the first gunshot go off, all of a sudden I just saw an eruption of blood, come out of Charlie's chest, and then kind of his whole body recoil and go limp, and basically everybody just screamed and fell to the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, they are not guessing. They are providing a description that never happened.
So that is the crucial key point right there. That is the needle point right there, the pivot point that needs to be figured out. The video that I seen originally that showed the hole open up in his white t-shirt is very important because that video doesn't exist anymore. So the question becomes, did those people really see what they saw? And then everything that we're seeing with the neck explosion is AI? Or is it opposite? It's hard to tell. And who are those people? She said she's going to investigate who those people are. That's the crucial key point. I've been saying this from day one. The very first video that I seen was of a hole open up in his white t-shirt. I'm saying the exact same thing that those people are saying. But then the second video I watch, I expect to see exactly the same thing. And then I seen what we've all seen, the neck explosion. But in the very first seconds, there was a video that showed a hole open up in his chest. I seen it with my own eyes. And I'm the one that, you can't fool me with shit like this. So until they figure that out, that is the crucial point. And I know that this is going to cause a huge It's just this whole thing is very important. So we'll see where it goes. I'm gonna play a little bit more of it. Wrong one.
It never happened. There was never a pooling of blood near Charlie's heart. Never happened. It was very obvious if you were anywhere near where Charlie got hit, and actually it came out sideways. The blood came out sideways, and I hate to be graphic and describe that, but it's important to remember that. And we all saw the video, okay? And I told you his shirt was clean. And yet they described that as if it was pre-planned for them to go out there. I'm going to investigate these people who came out here and said this right near his heart. I told you my theory is that the shape charge was intended to hit his chest, but something went wrong because a shape charge, like I said, can be directed, but it is not an exact science. I do not think they ever intended for the shot to be public. I don't think they ever intended for it to hit his neck. I think his mic, the second redundant mic, was rigged, and it was meant to hit his chest. He was wearing a white shirt. Those descriptions were meant to make sense because they are the instant ones that came out. They're speaking to NBC News, a pooling of blood around his heart. You never saw that, sir. How did you get on NBC News? I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out who these people are.
Websites your competitors don't.
So I'm telling you that it's about to blow up. But Candace, I think she's just missing. She doesn't know. I mean, she's going to figure it out. She's a lot smarter than I am. I hope that they hear about that video. It will help, but she's on it. I've been saying this all along about that video. I'm so glad that it's coming down to this. So at least I don't feel crazy when people call me a crazy conspiracy theorist or all this, batshit crazy or whatever. I know that I'm not crazy.
Don't want you to know. Part 2. All you do is go to this website, and it lets you find out.
Because that is way too specific. They are providing false witness intentionally. And then I think they had to pivot. Because actually, the shaped charge accidentally, as opposed to hitting his chest and causing that 30-06 diameter, as would happen with a patent explosives, as we've demonstrated to you in the past.
Ooh, she just said something right there, too, that I totally missed yesterday. That's so true. The 36 diameter, it was. That specifically, the hole that I seen open up in his chest was way bigger than that hole in his neck. It was a 30-06 diameter. Much more believable. Too.
It accidentally, because of how Charlie was crouched, went up and hit his neck. And that ruined everything. It was problematic. It's the reason why Terrell then had to scramble to get the cameras down, because they were never supposed to see it. They could have said reasonably that a 30-06 got eaten by Charlie, much more reasonably, obviously, than saying that the chicken bones in his neck stopped it because he ate vegetables. They panicked. That's why Terrell's nervous on the phone with me. Again, this is my theory, and I am now very much sticking to it. Okay. They panicked. It's the reason Erica had to step out. That's why she would have gotten on the phone with Terrell so quickly, because I was going, why is Terrell saying, well, I didn't want Erica to relive. Oh, that's why I did it. He didn't have an answer. He was nervous. It was crazy. But he acknowledged it. He spoke to Erica immediately. Why did you speak to Erica immediately? Why would you bother a quote unquote grieving widow with the nonsense of a camera behind his head that shows nothing? Why did you jump specifically to grab that camera's SD card and then lie and say, Andrew Kovac, people were stealing stuff? Buddy, we have eyes. We saw you take specifically the SD card and you left the camera. Which is more expensive?
Yeah. Well, anyway. And yesterday we were talking about, like, do mafias like really exist? Like the global mafias and stuff like that. It's crazy because we're StreamYard at. How do we? that guy Terrell Farnsworth, you know, he's like a perfect example of these mobs that we don't really know that exist. Where's this video at?
And it used to have Terrell Farnsworth's team upstairs. But in mid-July, so shortly before Charlie's assassination, he had Terrell's team kicked out of the office of his building. Why? I'm not sure. I don't know if it was because they were angry. I don't know what was going through Charlie's head, but he had been there for a while, and then he had them moved. On July 24th, Terrell's team, at Charlie's request, was removed from the building. Now, I'm entering in that data point in case it's relevant down the line. What we know is that, oddly, he was immediately welcomed back into the building following Charlie's death. We know this because Terrell is the one that is standing behind Erica during her first Zoom call to the team. The 6 days after Charlie was assassinated, she's not in bed crying. She is at the office in the Charlie Kirk building, and it is Terrell that is standing behind her. Here's a still photo from that moment just to remind you. You can see that person in the corner. That's Terrell. That's the camera guy. The fam is back together. Terrell Farnsworth, in my view, was not just suddenly shadowing Charlie on these little college campus events because they were trying something new, as he said. In my opinion, his new presence always has disturbed me.
That's not the video I wanted to play. There's a video that shows him with a group of people. The Farnsworth family is very powerful. They have a lot of connections, and they're in the government and all this kind of stuff. It just gives you a glimpse into how they can create these little companies and move around and infiltrate different organizations through like audio and visual companies and stuff like that, because people always need like audio and visual and pyrotechnics and stuff like that. It's very interesting how all that stuff works. But anyway, I don't have that many videos today, do I? I just have a couple.
We get death threats almost every day. That's part of the game of the space that I'm in.
Yep.
The other type of haters, though, are the ones that are the close proximity ones.
Really?
These are the ones I know that had some sort of relationship with me and either betrayed me or deceived me or said that I could not succeed. That is a whole different. Those actually get my attention.
Yeah.
Just like the random troubled person on a campus, whatever.
So the obvious, I want to hurt Charlie Kirk, doesn't bother
has
you as
zero.
much.
In fact,
Yes.
I actually believe that I am doing my job as a truth teller. The more that those people are trying to come and murder.
Yes. Yeah.
Has zero effect on him. But the people that are closest to him, people on the inner circle, whether that's current or former, right? People that know him or knew him, betrayed him or deceived him. What do you think? What group does Bibi Netanyahu, Rabbi Wolicki, Josh Hammer, what group do they fit into when Lori Cardozo Moore?
He knew.
Used to have.
It's not like he didn't know what was going to happen. This one's crazy. You guys know that Oliver Tree guy that crashed in the helicopter? They haven't even released who the other people were in the other helicopter. Like, that dude was definitely taken out. But I have not met one person yet that knew who Oliver Tree was before he was killed. But now he's saying that Bernie Madoff stole all of his money. The story just keeps getting weirder and weirder with this guy.
Because of Mr. Madoff, you lost $800 million.
It says here his Ponzi scheme involved a total fraud of nearly $65 billion.
Yeah.
And the largest from a single anonymous person, around $864 million.
You're this anonymous person, dude. This is a trip. And I don't know if this is crazy.
What did you hear?
17 million in 1 month. Are you laughing? Is it more than that? Oh shit.
Bro, that's literally what we do in a week off the merch drops.
Whoa. Whoa, 17 milli a week is what you're making.
No, that was at my peak, bro.
Oh.
That was at my peak.
But where did all the cash go?
Oh, really want to talk about it?
That's fine, man.
We did a thing. Are you familiar with Bernie Madoff?
No.
So he's a financial advisor.
What's his name?
Bernie
Yeah.
Madoff.
Bernie
Look
Madoff.
him up.
Okay.
It's a pretty famous
Bring him a
story.
picture for the audience, Joe, if you can, so we can see who it is. Bernie Madoff.
So I started working with this through my aunt. She lives in Florida.
Okay.
And she connected me to Madoff.
Right.
And so he was doing all my financial advising. And there was a brief stint where
Oh, no. I don't like where this is going.
basically I just, during my pinnacle, we were making close, 72 million.
72 million what?
A month.
A month. Wow. $72 million a month you were making. No, what is the math then? How much is that?
It's 864 million a year.
864 million a year. You're making 72 million a month. 864 million for the year. Damn.
Yeah, can you just talk? I don't really want to talk about what happened with Madoff, but
That's fine.
I'm getting a little worked up here. But if you want to just share a little bit about what happened with that
What is it?
situation.
I think he went to prison.
He went to jail.
Yeah.
For what?
For
Don't tell me some weirdo shit. What did he do?
I think just embezzlement or something.
Financial embezzlement? Oh, so you
Oh no, a big Ponzi scheme, I guess.
Oh my god, dude. So
Yeah,
would you
it
think
was all gone.
you lost all your fortune to him?
Everything, yeah.
How much did
He
you
was
say?
using my money to pay off other people.
You know what they say? Say robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's the old phrase.
That was the whole fucking scheme.
Rob
He would
Peter to
take
pay-
money
yeah.
from one person and pay the next and get everyone to make it look like that they're making their money back. But there was some of the bigger fishes, such as myself and some of my associates. And
So because of Mr. Madoff, you lost $800 million?
It says here his Ponzi scheme involved a total fraud of nearly 65 billion.
Yeah.
And the largest from a single anonymous person, around $864 million.
You're this anonymous person, dude? This is a trip. I never knew that.
can we just talk about
Yeah,
that?
no, we can move on. I'm sorry about that.
That's fucking wild, man. Is that why he was killed? A Ponzi scheme is some crazy shit. Like you use other people's money to to pay off other people to make them think that they're making money, and you can get them to. That's crazy. Maybe it don't have nothing to do with the whole Antarctica documentary. They probably just put that out there for cover. That one's just wild. If anybody wants to call that a conspiracy, I agree with them. That's just some crazy conspiracy theory shit right there. Who knows what really happened there? And again, I have not met one person that has said that they knew who that Oliver Tree guy was before he died. Now all of a sudden he was. You know what it sounds like to me? It doesn't sound like he was necessarily a victim there. It sounds like maybe he was involved in that Bernie Madoff Ponzi scheme with some other people. Maybe that's why he got taken out. Maybe he shouldn't have been talking about that on there. That's crazy. Absolutely wild. Maybe we'll just go down through the list. That's all the videos I have. Let's see what else they got out here today. I wonder one time this morning he didn't know we were watching. I don't know what that is. Attacking Tucker Carlson. Most of the videos on here are dumb. What's this? ex-CIA agent.
And this place in Utah, he and Julian Assange told us about Utah. This new compound in Utah that NSA has built has enough memory storage space for every phone call, every email, and every text message from every American for the next 500 years.
Wow.
Why?
Just that building?
Uh-huh.
Then why do they need all these buildings?
Yeah, why? They're everywhere. What are they collecting?
I'm not sure. And that's the thing. It's like, what it must be, it's got to be all of our information. What would you do right now? Is there any way that people can protect themselves? Do you know?
It's almost impossible now. I wrote a series of books during COVID for Skyhorse Publishing, the CIA Insider's Guides to Surveillance and Surveillance Detection, Lying and Lie Detection, and Disappearing and Living Off the Grid. They put them together, and they're republishing them in the next month, I guess, as one volume, CIA Skills, Tactics, and the Ultimate Guide to CIA Skills, Tactics, and Techniques.
There we go.
But when it comes to protecting yourself from the data state, you got to go Eric Rudolph or Unabomber and just own no technology at all. It's the only.
Yeah, I don't even think that'll work. I don't think anybody wants that, but it is a good question. If that one building in Utah can store all that data, why do they need all the data centers? For what? So we can all stream live on YouTube. You know what I mean? It does raise what are all those buildings for? That video was a while ago, but we don't need to see any videos of blood coming out of Charlie's neck. The hot air balloon fire, we don't need to watch that. They put some weird videos on here. That's why I bookmark them. Jake Paul, let's see what he's saying.
From a cash flow perspective, boxing is definitely the most amount of income just straight off the books. But I would say, if you just looked at my investment portfolio and what is marked up and what it's worth on paper, that's definitely the most lucrative, as well as some of the companies that I founded like Better and W. But until you cash out that equity, it's still just paper money. So currently, definitely boxing is the biggest amount of income. But I think all the richest people in the world and wealthiest people in the world build equity and make investments into private markets and public markets and into crypto. And so if I were to liquidate all of my equities, then that would definitely be the most lucrative. From a cash,
I think we just wasted 50 seconds of our life. I don't know what he said there. Not a lot going on. A Ukrainian naval drone struck the oil tanker Deshaun in the Black Sea. Okay. Will Smith. Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is a sellout. Once he started running with PBD, I lost respect for him. I mean, the guy's been selling pipe dreams for like 40 years, Tony Robbins, and he does have a lot of good information. I read his book, Awaken the Giant Within, which it was really good. Talks about neuro-linguistic programming and all kinds of stuff. And, there's so many, how people will do more to avoid pain than gain pleasure. I read that book when I was 18. And I also did his 30-day personal power. So he's been around a long time.
Back of the envelope calculation of all the random rules that Apple puts out. If they didn't apply, I think, it's and this is just meta. I think we make twice as much profit or something. And that's just us. I mean, it's all these small companies that probably can't even exist because of the taxes that they put in place. So yeah, I think it's a big issue. I wish that they would just kind of get back to building good things and not having their
happen here
ability to.
It looks frozen. I'll move on to the next video. The FBI is still offering a $30,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of those responsible for a deadly 2020 mass shooting. The world is a dangerous place. The media has hidden everything. It happened yesterday in Almeria. A 21-year-old illegal youth enters a motorhome with a knife. He strips naked. He sexually assaults a German girl. What? That was one of the weirdest stories I've ever read. Tulsi Gabbard, she's gone now. What's she saying? Will she run for president? I don't think so.
You think the campaign was hard? You think what President Trump went through was hard? And it was. The road ahead will not be easy. I can attest personally that in my work as the Director of National Intelligence, the deep state is fighting us every step of the way. And it exists within every single federal agency. And so I feel the same frustration that I see many of you expressing on X or in different platforms about why aren't things going faster? Why aren't we getting results more quickly? I feel this frustration every single day. We are pushing hard. Know that they are pushing hard back. You think the campaign was hard? You think what?
So, I mean, when the Director of National Intelligence tells you that there is a deep state and that they're, really listen to what Tulsi says here. For those of you that don't believe in conspiracies and all that bullshit.
What President Trump went through was hard, and it was. The road ahead will not be easy. I can attest personally that in my work as the Director of National Intelligence, the deep state is fighting us every step of the way. And it exists within every single federal agency. And so I feel the same frustration that I see many of you expressing on X or in different platforms.
So she's basically telling us, those of us literally right now on X, that's where we're watching her from. She's talking to us. She feels the frustration of the complaint department, and she knows that the deep state's out there, and they do exist in every federal agency, and they're fighting her and everyone every step of the way. They fight harder. The Jared Kushners all the way down, all the people we don't know about. When you have the Director of the National Intelligence tell you that, she's smarter than all of us. Who we got here? Sunlight expert. What is a sunlight expert?
Would you like some coffee?
Yeah, I'll take a little. That looks good when you're pouring it. It's also a very shiny press.
Oh yeah,
you've
fresh
got
press.
there.
Cheers, sir.
Cheers.
Is coffee good for you?
Coffee's awesome. Coffee is
Yeah.
shockingly good for you.
Talk to me. Let's go.
It is fucking crazy how good coffee is for you. I've been startled by the power of the evidence.
Yeah. I've read both. I read it's bad for you, and I dismissed it because I'm biased and I love coffee, and it just tastes too good. It feels too good. I like it.
But
I've read a lot of benefits about it.
I think it's the best possible supplement.
Really?
You think of it as a supplement? It's the best, and I think it's all due to mitochondrial function. I think it makes your mitochondria just spin.
And is it particularly because of caffeine or coffee itself? Is the coffee bean?
You know, I mean, caffeine. I think it's caffeine, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's other stuff in coffee that's contributing. Because you know, like tea doesn't seem to quite like deliver the goods like coffee does.
No.
But caffeine is actually the plants are making it to kill bugs. Right. Because it makes the bugs' mitochondria run out of control and they basically like blow up. It does that to us, but we have these other like governors like that come in and slow down that ramp up. So we get the nice ramp up without the explosion. So it's good. So it makes it you know, we produce energy more efficiently with less wear and tear.
That's all I need to hear. I'm in. I just love coffee. I'm not giving it up. But I've heard many people say that Michael Pollan had a really interesting anecdote. He laid off coffee for I think 3 or 4 months as an experiment. And then he had a cup of coffee and he said it was like taking a psychedelic. Yeah. He said, I just felt so amazing. And the effect was so profound. He said, I really wanted to do it only that way, where I only take it, you know, very rarely. But then I fell right back into my
He
old
went
ways.
right back. Yeah. Like I remember that article. It was great. And also he said none of the caffeine researchers touched the stuff. I'm like, that's not good. But yeah, he went right back to it. And I think he's a proud coffee drinker.
Yeah, he is. He went right back to it.
Yeah. I mean, and it's true. Some people say it's good. Some people say it's bad. I drink coffee 24 hours a day. I don't know what to tell you. Marco Rubio on Israel.
I want to begin.
We're not going
Sports Minister Saar.
We won't. Yeah, fuck him. Never mind. Candace Owens reveals a message from U.S. military bomb techs confirming the rigged microphone assassination theory. They completely reject the fake gunshot narrative. Interesting.
My boyfriend and I both work with explosives. We both are military EOD, explosive ordnance disposal techs, which is more commonly known as military bomb techs. Anyway, as far as the PETN, we pronounce it PETN. Thank you for telling me. It's the main component in military and commercial blasting caps. Each blasting cap has less than 1 gram of PETN and deals major damage. We have seen so many videos and know people who are missing fingers or went blind from mishandling these blasting caps. Anyway, I'm not sure about the Tennessee explosion that you were talking about, but I know that it's very easy to either make your own explosives or steal from the military, police, or commercial areas. As far as the shaped charge, it is very common in IEDs, and copper is the most common. But to give you a sense of how easy it is, you can use a wine bottle to make one as well. I know this won't help progress your theories, but me, along with my tech friends, all believe it was the mic. We could definitely be biased since we deal with IEDs, but I just thought that you should know. But a lot of people who deal with rifles, explosives, and improvised explosives do not believe it was from a gun. Please reach out if you have any questions. Thank you. We like I said, we.
Yep. What's Blake Neff saying?
Blake was there on Charlie's show after he died by Andrew Colvett. Take a listen.
Really want people to understand, Tucker, you and Charlie had such a unique and special bond and relationship. It was a deep friendship, and you both had each other's back in an incredible way.
He had my back.
You had his back too. I know
smokes.
those stories as well.
Yeah, and I promised I wouldn't get into any of that, but I will say, and I'm not going to, but I will say, because I want this to be about Jesus and his love for Jesus and what he did to spread the word of Jesus throughout the world. But I will just say this, that whenever I would come and do a gig for you guys, which was a lot because I really enjoyed it, and he was so kind to invite me and defend my being there, but I would always, he's the only person I did this with, I would always say, hey, you know, let's like meet in my hotel room or have a meal. Like, I loved talking to him. And it wasn't just to catch up on everything that's going on in the political world. He would always bring it back to God every single time. And it was so, there's no one around. Like, so he didn't need to be like, oh yeah, I really love God. It was like, just us. And he'd be talking about that.
And you would come to Phoenix and you would reach out to, it was like, have so many memories of Charlie being like, I gotta do dinner. Who are you doing dinner with? Oh, Tucker's in town. I gotta meet up with him.
Always.
Blake Neff is a liar. He is a coward. He is a backstabber, and he is made of the stuff that you would expect from a person who would betray Charlie. You proved yourself to be a deceitful traitor by pretending he was not close to Tucker Carlson.
Yep. Candace ain't happy. It is interesting, you think about how fake all of those people are. How fake they all are with God. And, Charlie, the reason why he was so popular, how he grew his company so big, is because he was so authentic. And then you have all these, all the hyenas that came in after he's killed and, try to emulate him. And you could just tell how fake, including Erica, she's not about God. None of those people are. What's Tucker saying?
Least of which caused by Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
What's happening with American people, even in the core of MAGA, under 40 in particular, and under 20 on college campuses and things like that, generally don't like Israel, period. Even I could use a stronger word than don't like.
Why do you connect that to Charlie Kirk?
Because I think he was changing his mind, and it was obvious he was changing his mind about being so attached to Israel, both in terms of U.S. security and in terms of just the American people. I think he was beginning to realize that it was poisonous, and that was dangerous. I don't for a minute think that we might not find out down the road something about his assassination that resembles Kennedy's and Martin Luther King's and others who've been shot in our country, which is, for people overseas sometimes whom I talk to infrequently now, but used to talk to a lot, like in France and England and Germany.
Yeah.
They don't understand why we kill people at the rate we kill people, and as an American, I say, wait a minute. And they'll tick them off, all the way back to Roosevelt becoming president, because they thought they got rid of him as vice president, and all of a sudden McKinley's killed. They'll tick those things off all the way back to Lincoln, and they'll say, you're a pretty violent country. You assassinate people quite frequently.
So I've had a very similar experience. In every country I've ever been to, other than this one, they don't buy it. But but you think that's correct. It's pretty obvious that lone gunmen seem to kill people who are a challenge to entrenched power. And maybe that's not an accident.
Yes. More often than not, I think it's not an accident.
More often than not is an understatement. When you listen to people like Tucker and these people, Tucker is as honest as he can be, but he can't be completely honest. I'd love to talk to Tucker Carlson off the record, like off camera. Probably will never get the chance, but you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things that they know about people that they can't talk about on TV. That literally the elephant in the room. The FBI won't spend $100,000 to chase a lead in the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping per TMZ. God, I hate that guy. Harvey Levin, whatever his name is. Deep State. I can't stand him. Lots of sharks down in Florida. Yeah. That's the perfect music. They just had a shark attack down there, and I heard they had to cancel a surf competition, I think in Florida, because they spotted a shark. Our humble host pointing out Andrew Colbett's confession to lying and hysterically mocking Blake's Neff's cackle toward it.
Andrew's first instinct often is to lie. He appears to be a dishonest person. Here's an example.
Works with. I have a story like this too, and I'm ashamed that I am the villain in this story. Basically, it was 2 weeks before he died, and I'll never forget it. There was just some annoyance that was, in our way, and we needed to deal with something. I can't even remember what it was, and I just remember going, "Hey, we could just tell them XYZ." In translation, we could just, little white lie, and it'll go away. They'll understand. And I remember seeing the dots he was typing right away. Right away. We don't lie. It was a private message with me. I love that. And it wasn't.
I don't know what that is. I don't care. JD Vance reveals after everyone online said Iran walked out of the negotiations, he spoke to them for 9 hours straight. Oh, Jesus Christ. More. I mean, what is this?
In Iran that we have in the United States of America. We talked to you guys and then had a series of really good meetings. What I did find kind of funny is that after that initial meeting, there was this, sort of social media firestorm where everybody said the Iranians are going to leave. And then we proceeded to talk to them for like the next 9 hours. So I would just encourage the media, mistrust a little bit what you see coming out of Iranian social media. They can be confusing negotiators, but we feel like we're making progress. Thank you.
Yeah, right. When you listen to the Candace Owens investigation, you listen to people like Baron Coleman and Candace, and like the length that you have to go to if you realistically want to get anywhere with this type of stuff. And then you just hear the gloss over statements that people like JD Vance make. It's just all for the cameras. You know what I mean? There's no substance behind what he says at all. Nothing. One big nothing burger. What's Ryan Maida saying? Okay. Or this, like they'll spend so much time on the reflecting pool, like it's a big deal. Like, who gives a fuck with the reflecting pool? They could cover that reflecting pool up with concrete for all I care and turn it into a skate park. Ooh, I don't know what's that. What does that say, though? Idaho will start executing convicted child rapists by firing squad in 9 days. What? Is that true? I mean, that's awesome if it is. Hold on. Idaho child killer firing squad. Idaho is the only state in the U.S. where the firing squad is the primary and preferred method of execution. Governor Brad Little enacted these measures to ensure sentences are carried out despite pharmaceutical challenges with lethal injection. Of course, the big pharma wants their money. You ain't killing people without us getting our drug money, motherfucker. The execution protocol includes restraining the inmate in a chair and placing a target over the heart. 3 volunteer certified peace officers use .308 caliber rifles from 10 yards away. Every rifle is loaded with a live round, and all shooters fire simultaneously. Now, that's a job I would do. I said I would never work for anybody again, but if I could be on a firing squad to kill child, like sex offenders, I would do it. I would fucking clock in for that shit. That fucking gets me sitting straight up in my chair thinking about that. That's some lucky motherfuckers right there. Literally, their job is to kill child. They get to kill child sex offenders. Fuck, man. Those are the luckiest guys on the planet, as far as I'm concerned. I did not know that. Idaho has taken a courageous stand to safeguard our children. Here, let me get over here. Idaho has taken a courageous stand to safeguard our children by enacting House Bill 380, which authorizes the death penalty by firing squad. And this was just in February. For those convicted of aggravated lewd contact against kids under 12. So it is specifically if you do violate kids under 12 is the only way that they will allow the firing squad. The measure signed by Governor Brad Little. I mean, that's some fucking, man, that's America right there, boys and girls. I fucking love that shit. I mean, if it was up to me, we'd have public hangings, like daily public hangings until we got rid of all the problems. This measure signed by Brad Little rightly recognizes these atrocities and deserving the harshest punishment, ensuring predators face irreversible justice. The law not only expands capital crimes beyond murder, but also establishes firing squad as the primary execution method, making Idaho the pioneer in true accountability. It toughens sentences for all child sex offenders, deterring future horrors and affirming that no mercy should be shown to those who shattered innocent lives. Yeah, because that is a deterrent. Do you want to sit in a chair with a fucking target over your heart, motherfucker? I mean, that's a perfect deterrent right there. You know? They should just play it in jail, too. Like, if you go to jail, anybody that's even remotely headed down that path with any type of related crimes whatsoever, you know what I mean? Like, anything that has to do with that. Even like pimping and pandering and all that bullshit. Show them that video of homeboy getting killed, you know, for what he did. Like, that's a deterrent. This bold policy upholds the sanctity of the family and community, setting a powerful example for the nation. States everywhere must adopt a similar resolve to eradicate this evil and protect the next generation from unimaginable harm. Do you think this should be implemented nationwide? I 100% do. Idaho has authorized the death penalty by firing squad for pedophiles. I mean, because you look at this picture right here and you look at these sick fucks, you know, they can just smirk because they're just going to get locked up in protective custody and do their time, then go check into some fucking weird ass house. My buddy lives downtown. A couple years ago, he's like, dude, we parked. It's hard. There's no parking in the apartment building he lives in. You got to park like down the street sometimes. And so we park and we're walking towards this house. And he's like, dude, don't walk down that sidewalk right there. I'm like, what? And he walks in the street. He's like, dude, those are all sex offenders right there. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's like one of those, whatever they are, halfway houses or whatever for sex offenders. And it's just, there was a couple of creepy old guys out there smoking cigarettes. Kill those motherfuckers. I can't believe that. You know, I honestly thought I'm just talking shit. You know, like it's just like, when I say that, like, if I was in charge, I would hang these people. You know what I mean? Like, it's just me just talking shit. We've gotten so weak in this country. I cannot believe that Idaho did that. Like, literally, I might want to move to Idaho. You know, I honestly, I might move to Idaho if they're really going like that. That's my type of fucking town. There's not going to be no fucking sex offenders around. You don't have to worry about them being in the schools because they get fucking killed. I mean, that means that anybody in elementary school in Washington State, they'll work in elementary schools because you can dress. It don't even matter if you're a guy. You can go into the women's bathroom type of shit in the schools in Washington State. I don't think they'll want to do that in Idaho, you know, because if you get caught with anybody under 12, they will shoot you. They will literally kill you with the firing squad. That's a deterrent, man. I love that shit. Anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to get going. My neck hurts. I got to get back in the kitchen for a minute and make some pie crust. That's what I'm doing. Be safe out there. Stay away from the pedophiles and the people that will blow your chest out, blow your neck apart. You know, basically our government. You got to watch out for those guys. So don't get Charlie Kirk. Don't, you know, don't get JFK'd. Stay safe. Pollock, thanks for hanging out. Bambi, thanks for hanging out. Gen X, Tommy, Daniel, Sweet Tea, all you guys. Hollywood, thanks for coming in. Good morning to you. Getting ready to head out here. Going back in the kitchen for a little bit. Tommy will be on pretty soon. People always come in when I'm done. It goes from 2 to 3 to 4. Won't you guys, not you, Hollywood, whoever else is in the bushes, won't you guys come in tomorrow? That's Theme Dude's famous. Come in tomorrow. Won't you guys just come in tomorrow already, right when we're getting ready to end it? There wasn't really nothing going on today anyways. My main thing was I had to get my point across about the Charlie Kirk. Now, you know, I'm going to play it one more time. One more time for the latecomers. This is the only thing I care about today.
Used to have Terrell Farnsworth's team.
Not that one. This one.
Take a listen to these people who tried to convincingly sell that he got hit in the chest.
I heard a loud bang, which I figured a shot would be a little bit louder, but I just saw it hit him in the chest, and then all of a sudden just tons of blood gushing right out where his heart is, and then he like fell over and slumped down, and everybody got down and was screaming, and then we all ran.
Kirk, and I am joined now by Sarah, who is originally from Draper, a Utah Valley University student. I understand you were inside, and it's been a traumatic thing to witness. Tell me a little bit about what you saw and how you've been feeling.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been a little bit over an hour, over an hour since it's happened, and my heart is still racing, and I'm still shaking a bit. It's definitely scary. Basically, Charlie Kirk came out at about like 12:06, and everybody was super excited to have him there. And the first student stepped up, and they had a conversation about like Mormonism and Christianity. And then after that, they had another student step up to talk about transgenderism and the violence and gun violence that's been surrounding that recently. And that is when Charlie Kirk was shot. It was in the neck, and I watched the blood just spurt out all over his body as he slumped over and fell down. I believed that he was dead on impact, but it sounds like he is in critical condition. So big prayers going out to him, hoping that everything is okay. After the shooting, everybody was kind of shocked, and everybody fell to the ground. Everyone was screaming and really frantic. My mom was with me, and she looked up at me and said, "Run." So me and my friend grabbed hands, and we ran out of the building, out across the street, all the way to Bucked Up, across from Utah Valley.
Because processing something like this, I mean,
That girl has way too much information stored in her brain. That is definitely a rehearsed. It's just wild. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get going. I got to get back in the kitchen. I appreciate everybody hanging out, stopping by. Have a great day, and we will talk to you all next time. Wait, what's Sweet Tea saying here? Osada, I'm way behind in the show, but there's supposed to be a Buc-ee's coming soon here. I have never been, but people rave about it. Yeah, the one here, Sweet Tea, my buddy Brian saying that there's like 75,000 people that showed up the first day. I don't know if that's true or not, that they had to reroute the freeway, and it's like some huge deal. I guess they sell brisket, and I don't buy it myself. You know, we had a Sonic, if you guys have ever heard of that, open up, and same thing. They had to reroute traffic off the road for like the first couple days, and everybody went there and it's like, oh my God, there's a Sonic here. And then we realized like, oh my God, the food sucks like really bad. It's worse than every other any place. I mean, their food really, really, really sucks. So nobody goes there. And we have a couple of them around here, and it's like, it's not even an option. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not even an option to go to those places. I don't know. It's that bad. Their food is that bad. I don't know how the fuck they ever got popular in the first place. Sonic. I mean, the couple things I tried from them, I got stomach aches. So I don't know if you guys have ever had a Sonic where you're at, but those places fucking suck. There's one down the road down here by the dollar store, and I just drive by like it's invisible. You know, I could be starving and I wouldn't stop at that fucking place. And you know, they're really nice too, because it's, you drive up, you can order at the little drive. There's like multiple slots to pull up at. It's really convenient. It just, you know, I don't get it. You know, it's all like corporate nonsense. But apparently they have good brisket. They have really, apparently they have like really good brisket, and they do their own bakery or whatever. I have no idea. I just say I'd rather go support local vendors myself, local, you know, small business. But apparently it was open by two guys. Avril something, April is his name. Like in the 80s in Texas or Louisiana, something like that. Anyway, have a great day, Sweet Tea. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll talk to you soon.